Our next complication is the calendar watches. The calendar watches are quite diverse. There is the indication of the calendar in many different ways. It can be the day of the week, it can be the date, it can be the month, or a combination of it, and then up to the perpetual calendar. Then you have the astronomical indication. The first and most popular is the moon phase, and then you have equation of time, and you have also other astronomical indication that can go really a long way. Let's discuss first the various calendars, because over the millenaries, over the civilization and different eras, there have been a lot of different calendars that have been invented and used over time. But today, mainly accepted is the Gregorian calendar that is actually used for civilian reasons throughout the world. This takes the birth of Jesus Christ as year one and has been actually implemented towards the whole world in so far as the 20th century. Seems very late, but it's actually very true. And actually, the origin of this calendar is linked most probably to the Egyptian calendar. The Egyptian calendar was several millenaries ago already based on 365 days, divided in 12 months of 30 days plus 5 additional days. It is difficult to grasp how these people, like 5,000 years ago, were able to measure the sky precisely enough to come to this. But actually, today's calendar is based on these 365 days. Later on, about at the beginning of our era, Julius Caesar wanted to leave its imprint on the history by putting his name on a new calendar that he will use to correct what the Egyptians made several millenaries ago. So he actually took still 12 months, 30 or 31 days, and he added a leap year. So you have 365 days, and you have the leap year. What is a leap year? Is actually an added day every 4 years. So you have now an average year that is 365.25 days per year. But then later on, 1600, so was quite a while, the Pope Gregory XIII introduced his calendar, called the Gregorian calendar, which is actually the calendar we use today. And he could calculate with much more accurate means that the Julian calendar was precise, but not enough. So to correct the errors accrued over these last 16 centuries, he decided that the day following the 4th October 1582 would be the 15th of October 1582. So basically on our history, there are 11 days that have been scrapped and that actually didn't exist. Then measuring a year is quite a complex thing. As we've seen, Julian calendar said the year was 365 and 25, but it wasn't exactly enough. And actually the sidereal year is exactly 365.24219879 days a year. So this is very difficult for the watchmakers to come to a system that is precise enough because, as we've seen before, we are working with gears that have teeth, and they have a finite number of teeth. You don't have a gear with 1.2421 teeth. That's not possible. So this is where it gets complicated for the watchmakers. So now let's have a look at the lunar cycle, so the moon phase indication. The moon phase is actually interesting because it allows to see the age of the moon. Of course, physically, the age of the moon is 4.7 billion years, but actually the age of the moon for watchmakers is the number of days since the new moon. And depending on where you are on the globe, either on the northern hemisphere or the southern hemisphere, you will see a waning or a waxing moon, as you can see on this picture. So the lunar cycle is 29.5 days, and there are many ways to display it on the watch. Let's have a look here at the first of it. It's actually the disk. There is a rotating disk that is semi-hidden, so you can see the moon going in the sky as it is observed with your eyes. So you can see actually and follow the moon age day by day. There are different ways to display the moon cycle. Here you have actually the disk type. On this watch you can see the hand type, so there is a hand making a circle in 29.5 days. Then there is a sphere type. You have here at the center of this watch a sphere, a moon actually that is reproduced in its three-dimensional state. You have also a palette that will actually hide part of the moon, as you can see here or here. Many different ways, and of course, sky's the limit. There are very inventive watchmakers that have also invented other ways to display the moon.